Okay, I'm gonna play this short clip, and I want everybody to tell me what they think about it.
You can't have a future with a country like this. You can't have a future with a citizenry that is this out of touch with the unlimited super violence that we subject the rest of the world to.
If you ask me, that's some pretty raw feedback. And later on in this video, I'm gonna show the whole clip, and you'll understand why he said that. But last night, I ended up making a mistake of having a coffee at like 9 p.m. and I was up all night doom scrolling. But I figured I might as well be productive, so I found a few videos that I think the community would like to see. The first video is of a US citizen calling out his fellow citizens for saying we didn't vote for this. I think a lot of us are irked whenever we hear someone say this. The next creator, I've had her videos on my channel before, and she continues on her series, talking about how the rest of the world views the United States right now. It's a good one. And unfortunately, this last one, it kind of tells me that the United States doesn't really have any hope when it comes to their future. Because these three stooges that Don Lemon is interviewing, it shows the apathy that is happening right across their country. So I'm going to show all of this in this video. But in case you missed the Truth Social post from the orange guy yesterday, this is what he actually posted. And he's gone completely off the deep end, even for his standards. But I want to summarize a little bit on this tweet, and let me show you this video.
Open the straight, you crazy bastards. That is President Trump's latest threat to Iran, warning that the U.S. will target Iran's critical infrastructure if Tehran does not reopen the Strait of Hormuz. That is that critical oil thoroughfare that's been at a virtual standstill since the U.S. and Israel started this war 5 weeks ago.
Now, wasn't it just a few days ago where he told everybody else you gotta go get your own oil, and that he's not gonna do anything? All because we didn't help him. Now, he's flipped again, basically threatening to obliterate Iran if they don't open the strait.
Now, Trump's deadline for the Iranians to make a deal or reopen the strait has repeatedly shifted, and now he says in this profanity-laced social media post that if Iran does not, quote, Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. This message comes hours after Trump announced the rescue of the missing airman whose F-15 jet was shot down over Iran. And his stark language here really underscores how emboldened Trump appears to be following that remarkable mission, which he says is a signal of, quote, overwhelming air dominance over Iran. But the U.S. is now 5 weeks into this conflict, and polling shows it is deeply unpopular with Americans, particularly because the strait's closure has been a driving factor in rising gas prices here at home. Trump has said repeatedly that this military action will be over in a matter of weeks, as he's asked Americans for their short-term patience. Now, he's telling Fox News in a new interview that he believes Iran could make a deal by Monday, but he is making very clear that there will be consequences if it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that Monday deadline. And, you know, I actually kind of find it funny that I trust Iran's word more than the orange guy. I'm going to wait for their tweet instead to see if there's any grounds for this Monday deadline. But as this orange idiot gets more unhinged, we're seeing more and more videos online of orange guy supporters basically saying, oh, I didn't vote for this, or, you know, I didn't want the gas prices to go high, or I didn't think it would affect me. And throughout the duration of my channel, like ever since I started it, I have been critical when it comes to the orange guy supporters. And so many people have emailed me saying that, hey, you're Canadian, you have no right to criticize us, or you don't know what we're going through. But to be honest, I really don't care what these orange guy supporters say. And to be honest, I just press the delete button. But I think if I do get any more orange guy supporter emails, I'm probably just going to send them this video. Let me show you.
What do you mean you didn't vote for this? Yes, you did. You're saying you didn't vote for corruption? Yes, you did. You're saying you didn't vote to detain all of our agricultural farm workers? Yes, you did. You're saying you didn't vote for a president who tries to take away the right to vote from 21 million American citizens? Yes, you did. You're saying you didn't vote for sending our troops abroad to go die on foreign soil again? Yes, you did. You voted for that. And here's the thing. He told you. He told us what he was going to do. Do you know when he told us? The last time he was president. And then again, when he ran for president and he lost. And then again, when he ran for president a third time and made Project 2025 and told us over and over and over and over and over again who he was and what he was going to do. You just weren't listening, or you were choosing to ignore it. What do you mean you didn't vote for this? You did. Now show some responsibility, apologize, and own your shit. This is exactly what you voted for.
Now, I don't think we're ever going to get any apologies from the MAGA side, because they still don't think they're wrong, even though they say that we didn't vote for this. But this might be the closest thing to an apology that we'll ever get.
If you could say something to President Trump and he was going to hear you right now, what would it be?
You are a worthless pile of
And you voted for him how many times?
3 times. That was my bad. Apparently, I'm an idiot.
Yes, you are. And you're only complaining because it's affecting you at the gas pumps. But you were okay with voting for a criminal, for someone who lies, gaslights people, and caused everything in the world to flip upside down. I'm happy you understand that you're an idiot, but that doesn't give you a free pass to get outside of the orange circle. And I might be outside the borders of the United States, but your vote is still affecting everybody else in the world. So unfortunately, I have zero sympathy for you. Now I want to move on to this next video because this content creator does a very good job in terms of explaining how the rest of the world sees the United States right now. But before I do, I would like to thank my mom for sending me this photo during her trip last year to Montreal. If you're new to my channel, my parents actually did an Eastern Canada trip, September of last year. And it was the first time that they actually visited. I believe they went to various cities in Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, I think. And they're hoping to go back this year as well. Now, if you have been around my channel a lot, you might have noticed that I haven't been showing many photos from my mom these days. And that's because she's actually just got out of surgery a little while ago. She's okay and everything's fine and she's making a great recovery. But I would much rather her just relax instead of going through 5,000 different photos for me. So hopefully soon I'll be able to feature more of my mom's photos. And thanks again, Mom, for sending these. Okay, let's move on to this next video where this creator talks about how the world sees the United States right now.
Most of you follow me for my series on how the rest of the world views the US. And I want to give you an update now 3 years in to when I started making that series. The world has never looked at the US more poorly than it does right now.
I would actually use different words than poorly, like maybe disgust, ignorant, arrogant, conceited, or even oblivious. But that's just me.
There are so many people inside this country that know how horrible things are. But yet, there is still a large percentage of the population who somehow thinks things are going great. The MAGA cult will be studied for generations to come. The rest of the world cannot understand how we managed to vote this president in a second time. And now just 14 months in, he is wreaking so much havoc on the entire planet. He has the worst approval rating in the history of all presidents at this point. And I don't think it's going to get better. It is absolutely embarrassing and devastating and just disgusting to be an American right now. I am really, really, really sad for this country and for all of us that did not back this administration and knew we would get here. And that's really tragic. Really tragic.
Now, I totally feel for the US citizens that see what's going on with their country right now. It is embarrassing. And to be honest, with every tweet that this guy makes, the damage is just getting worse as the days go by. And as each day goes by, more and more people are seeing the brand of the United States go down the toilet. I know some of you viewing right now never had a good opinion on the United States to begin with, but I'm talking about the people that used to frequent. Because as funny as it sounds, one of my friends who was still going down to the United States has just recently decided, you know what? It might not be safe. And you know what? I just don't want to go anymore. So at least for me and within my inner circle, that's a win right there. And I'm sure my friend is not the only one in Canada or the rest of the world that has recently changed their mind. Because there is a fundamental as well as a systematic problem in the United States. A very small portion of their citizens understand, but unfortunately a vast amount really just don't care. And this next video I'm going to show— hey, stop scratching! Hey! Sorry about that. This next video I'm going to show you really emphasizes this.
I think Trump's doing the right thing, honestly.
What's up?
I got no comment on that.
You don't know why?
Nah, I'm just taking a guess.
You're just guessing that he's doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Problem number one, the orange guy supporter who will just believe anything that he says and just believes he's doing well. Not only that, can't back up his reasonings why. It's literally blind loyalty. Like this other guy as well.
So, I didn't really do much research, so I can't make comment, but I just trust Trump. Whatever Trump does, I'm going to take his word and go with it. He's the best guy on the planet.
So I just showed you 2 people out of the 77 million that voted for the orange guy. And I'm quite sure there's going to be more of them that have this mentality of I don't know what's going on, but I trust the orange guy. Now let's move on to this next guy. He's not as frustrating, but, it kind of gets under my nerves a little bit.
How do you feel?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think Trump's doing the right thing.
Is this a joke?
What?
Is this a joke?
Yeah.
It's
No,
a joke?
it's not. It's not.
Alright, you can fucking drive home, bro. Or walk home, sorry.
Damn. I don't know what just happened.
But he doesn't even know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just think, like, it's not good for the economy. Like, I don't know.
Now, like I said, not as frustrating, but come on, have a little bit more interest in what's going on with your country. As for your friend, I mean, I would say drop him. The guy's useless anyways. Now, the question is, this guy in the black jacket, how many other US citizens are like him? Might know what's going on, you know, they might hear it in the news here and there, but really don't have any urgency or drive to understand what is actually going on. And the scary part, there's millions of citizens like this. They know what's going on, or, you know, lightly know what's going on, but are not going to do anything about it. Now, this guy in the red, he's a real piece of work. Let's take a look.
I don't really give a fuck about the war. Smoke weed, get money, bitches. Hell yeah.
Yep, this is the future of the United States right here. And I know some people are going to say, you know what, GTL, this is just one guy that they interviewed. You know, a lot of people do care. But I think people are really underestimating how many apathetic people there are in the United States. This is a clear example. What's this guy's priorities? I'm not going to repeat his priorities, but you understand. Was the guy in the red and the guy in the black jacket, were they at the No Kings protest? Probably not. Do they give a shit about it? Probably not. And these two guys here are a prime example of why there was only 8 million that attended the No Kings protest out of a possible 160 million. Now, I'm going to show the guy the top's response to this, and it's gold. Just let me play it. And just FYI, there is a few curse words in this, so you might want to put earmuffs on the kids or something.
God damn, bro.
System.
Low key, this is unironically dude, this is the full spectrum. This is the spectrum of American politics. Cultist psychopath who doesn't even know why he likes Trump but likes Trump. Democrat who doesn't know why he thinks it's bad. And the plurality that goes, whatever, fuck bitches get money, lamau. He hit 3 of the planks. All 3 are cattle. All 3 of them. Meanwhile, their cousins are gonna get fucking fragged with a goddamn Shahed drone in a matter of a month from now. You can't have a future with a country like this. You can't have a future with a citizenry that is this out of touch with the unlimited super violence that we subject the rest of the world to. The American working class straight up are so far removed from the consequences of our actions.
This right here, what he just said, it's the 100% truth. And I'm just going to go out and say it, but if you don't like what you just heard, then you're also part of the problem. But I do trust that most of the GTL community that are in the United States are also frustrated by this as well. Their own fellow citizens, the next generation, they really don't give a shit. There might be pockets of next generation people that do care, that are protesting and things like that, but unfortunately, this is a big majority of them, what you're seeing on the screen right now. I find it sad that the outsiders, anybody outside of the United States, can actually see what's going on. We don't want to see the United States fail, because if they fail, we feel the effects as well. Doesn't mean we have to be friends with them, but we don't want them to fail for our own benefit. But unfortunately, as long as this apathy continues on, I don't see any change going on in the United States. Alright, that's all I got for this video. I feel like I got a little bit too riled up on this one, but I apologize if I did. I think the lack of apathy is just really starting to get to me. If you found any value in anything I said today, or you want to hear more from a Canadian and international perspective without the US media bias, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you're notified of my future videos. And if you want to see more of my videos, or you want to hear more of the cat, check out the videos that'll show up on your screen shortly. Thanks everyone, I'll catch you in the next one.